decisions. So one of the worst things that men can do is give up their decision making when they're in a relationship. So as a man, you should decide where you may want to go for dinner or where you're going to go for a drive this weekend. You can ask her if that's okay with her. Of course, it's not a one-man show, but she doesn't want to make those decisions all the time. You should be making those decisions. Now, I'm not saying that if you're dating a woman that's very domineering and very controlling and she wants to run everything, that's not okay. If you're okay in the beta situation, that's perfectly fine. But I don't think that women are happy in the long run in the alpha position. She may want to be sort of the alpha. She brings the money in. Maybe you're not making money right now, whatever. But in the world, sooner or later, she's going to find somebody that she's more attracted to because you're kind of beta and you become less and less attracted to her. So it's kind of a formula for losing a woman when you kind of go into that beta situation, maybe just because you're unemployed or not making as much money as she is. If you want a good relationship, you have to remember that you are bringing the benefit of being a man to the relationship. That's all you have to do. You just have to be a man. You don't have to make more money than she or make as much money as she. You don't have to be as career-minded as she is. Maybe she's more ambitious and more career-minded than you are. That's perfectly fine. But you bring being a man to the relationship. That's what you bring in. So you can be a man. You can be at the head of the table. You can be making decisions. You don't have to give up your decision-making to the woman. Now, when children come around, it's great as a man to have a baby, to have children. For me, it was a realization of a lifelong dream. I always wanted children. Even when I was little, I wanted children. I knew I was going to have children. There is something about having children that makes a man really, truly grow up, and a woman as well. I don't think that people grow up until they have children. Until they have children, like we're all children ourselves. As soon as we become parents, we become adults. And then when you're dealing with your own parents as they get older now, you know how the script gets flipped and like you're the parent and they're the kid because they're 70 or 80 and then maybe they have dementia and they have health issues and you're taking care of them to some degree or maybe completely. Well, you can't have that role as easily until you're a parent. When you're a parent, that's when you really grow up. So when you're taking care of little kids, you may feel kind of beta. You've got you're going somewhere, you've got to take the stroller and you got all these bags full of diapers and all kind of crap that you're taking with you. And, hey, I'm beta dad, But that's not really true either. You have to be the man in the relationship when you have children. It's wonderful to have your children interact with them, but you're the man, so you interact with them differently than women do. You're different. That's very attractive to little kids. They need to see that role model. They need to see somebody who's a rock, who's kind of tough. Fundamentally, the boat and the pilot. The woman is the environment you're in. You're the man. You put it into her, and it all happens inside of her. Fundamentally, you're being a man is all you have to do. The core of being a man is someone who can handle things. That's what she wants to see in you, that you can handle things. She wants to see that when there's a noise downstairs, that you are happy to get up and go downstairs and fix it. That when you're walking in a neighborhood that's not all that safe, that you are between her and the weird homeless guy. That you are a person that she can look to for safety and security and protection. That's being a man. I would put it, and I always do put it this way, that you are the rock. Women want to be emotional. They want to let go emotionally. But they want a man telling them, hey, stop. That's enough. They want a man to help hold them in check. That's part of being a man and protecting a woman, emotionally holding her in check. Enough of that already. Let's stay calm. Let's take some shallow breaths. That's enough. You have to be the man. That's what a man does. He holds the woman in check, the emotional, so it doesn't go out of control. And if that's the reason that other women, oftentimes they get into scrapes together, I remember in middle school, the stories I'd hear about the girls are always fighting with each other in the locker room. Boys never fought each other in the locker room. Girls did it all the time. The expression cat fights. Because women, when they get emotional, get other women emotional because emotion rubs off on other people, especially other women, and then they go at each other because they're all emotional and they need some release for that emotion. You see it all the time. But as a man, you have to be the rock. So it's not that you're not having feelings. Of course you have feelings. But you don't respond emotionally to her. So she feels like she can be emotional when she has to, that you'll check her emotions. You'll help to dominate, to slow her and stop her emotions so that she can be relaxed. That's what a good father does in a good mother-father parental situation. The mother is the nurturing and everything and reassuring and everything. And a father does that too. But a father is the example of, hey, I can deal in the world just like Dad. I could be like Dad. Look how Dad handles that thing. Dad doesn't get all upset or emotional about it. If he doesn't, I don't have to either. Both girls and boys look to the father in an ideal relationship as they're growing up as an example of how to handle something without getting all upset and all emotional. So it's not like we suddenly just grow up and we leave all that behind. When we're together with a woman, we, as a man, have to be holding her in check. We have to be somewhat of the rock. We have to be her protection emotionally so that when she gets emotional, we don't get emotional. So we can hold her in check. And the trouble is when you're with a woman who makes more money than you do, you may feel that you can't do that. You may feel a bit emasculated, a bit that you're not a man because you're not making as much money. And you don't have to feel that way. Just remember that you are the man in the relationship. That's what you bring to the table. As long as you're a man, as long as you can hold her in check, as long as you are a man who is protective, providing the emotional security and not getting emotional when she gets emotional, she will want you as much as you want her. And even if you're unemployed or she's making more money, she's more successful than you are, it doesn't matter. You can still walk with a swagger in your step because you are the man.